Don't fuck up. Don't fuck yourself. Don't breathe the air. We're all gonna die. The world's on fire. There's fire behind Evan. He just had a fake mask on because technology's great, but it's killing our planet. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Rude Cooking School Pod. I'm kidding. Hi.
You know what's cooking right now, John?
The planet.
Canada.
Well, yeah, Canada. Yeah, Canada's a mess.
Quite a barbecue going on.
You know what? So, okay, here in Baltimore, Maryland, where we live, it's smoky today. As of
just like it was a couple of weeks ago when we had that MRE episode.
Yes, June 29th, 2023. It's smoky outside. Like if you just hung a rack of ribs outside for long enough, it feels like you would get some good stuff. Like if you just put it on your clothesline. It's weird. They're getting it really bad in Chicago right now, right? Am I right?
Yeah, it's the whole goddamn United States of America covered in a blanket of smoke.
But they're getting what we had like a few weeks ago, right?
Today, for me, like I was coming home from work on I-95 North, and you can't really see downtown Baltimore. Like you can see some buildings, but it is real. Whatever the superlative term for hazy is, it's that. It is like tough to see.
It's like a Bengals song out there, except it's a hazy shade of summer.
Hazy shade of apocalypse.
Hazy shade is a very weird two words to say together.
Unique New York.
Red leather, yellow leather. America's hat's on fire and our nose is burning, and it's fucking weird.
Yeah. I got smoke all in my eyes because of it.
That's a good song. Smoke is we're back. We're back. We're a little rusty. Clearly.
Speak for yourself, John.
I missed a week. I got terribly sick. I have no idea what was wrong. It sucked like hell. And luckily I have a voice now. I was feeling better last week, but I lost, I was like, oh, I feel really good. Like I literally had no voice. It was awful. So that's why I didn't do last week. And here I am this week, and my voice is still not great, but I can get down with you now. What's up, girl? Yeah. Evan's making a face. Hey, Evan. How you doing?
Put my mask back on.
How you doing, girl? How you doing? How have you been these last 2 weeks? I haven't talked to you. Oh no, you look sexy in that mask, girl. I like them glasses.
I haven't cooked jack shit. We've ordered a lot of food. I've eaten a lot of chicken nuggets. I've made a lot of bowls of ramen. We did go to 2 different caterers to sample their wares for a wedding next year.
Okay. How was it?
And one of them was mediocre, and the other was better, so we picked the other one.
Oh, okay, cool. And
I can let you know what we tried at the other one.
Okay,
not the one that we picked.
Oh, what did you try at the other one?
So we got to sample 2 mains and 2 apps, and for the mains we had an adobo chicken.
Okay,
which, it says soy, lemon, vinegar, butter sauce, and caramelized shallots, which sounded great to me. Mm-hmm. Then we ate it, and I was like, this doesn't taste like adobo at all. It's just kind of like a lemon chicken. And I told them, I was like, yeah, usually when I make it, I go heavy on the garlic and heavy on the vinegar. And they're like, yeah, well, we can tweak it. That's cool. Blah, You're
like, you don't know what you're talking about, clearly.
Right.
By the way, every time you turn your head, that stupid mask gets small, and it's really weird. They try to make it
just
put
like
it on an
life.
Angle. Yeah.
And we also had a braised short rib because, of course, why not?
Yeah.
Which was actually really good and tender, and it had a cherry wine gastrique, rosemary gremolata, and micro celery.
How was the rosemary gremolata?
It was good.
That sounds like that would be okay.
It was aight. And then our little appetizer guys were a Korean barbecue skirt steak taco with
I'm here
red
for that.
miso
Yeah.
mousse, cilantro slaw, and blackened scallion creme. It was good.
Wow.
It was
That's
a good
really
little
complicated.
handheld, little bitey bite guy. And then we had a smoked duck tostada thing, and it was just meh. It didn't really taste like much, but it had corn nuts in it, and I thought that was weird.
Oh, I like corn nuts.
I love corn nuts. They're so crunchy.
Yes. They hurt your teeth sometimes. They're almost too. Some would
cilantro
say they're almost
creme,
too crunchy.
Pickled red onion, black bean puree, and corn nuts.
Okay.
Tostada. I'm not going to tell you what we tried at the other place because that's the caterer we went with, and you're probably going to wind up eating this food
At your wedding.
in like 9 months.
Oh wow, is okay, so 9 months from now?
Next March.
Okay. Sweet, dude. That's awesome. March is a good month.
I will tell you that the owner of this caterer
March
went to
15th,
the
clearly,
Friends
right?
School. March 24th.
Oh, okay. Should have went
To the Friends School. He's a good guy. Came from the area, and one of the items we did try was a charcuterie plate because why not?
Sure.
And one of the items on the plate was a beerwurst from Binkert's, and it was great.
Binkerts. Binkerts is, for those who are just now tuning in or have listened in the past and forgot, Binkerts is a German, Bavarian
Deli.
Wurst. Well, they make a bunch of German charcuterie stuff. So, Weisswurst,
Head cheese.
Baronwurst. They do head cheese. They do souse. They make their own bacon. They make their own frankfurters. They make their own footlongs. They make a lot of really, really good meat stuff.
It's a great place.
And it smells amazing in there, and it's delicious. They provide the Swiss consulate and the German consulate all of their tubular meats. That's how good they are. And you walk out of there with a bag full of like 8 pounds of meat, and it costs like $30, and it's fucking awesome. I love buying just a chunk of their bacon and then cutting it myself, cutting it really thick, or using it to just like chop into lardons and put into stuff for like salads and stuff. It's so good. Their bacon's bananas good. Yeah. That's exciting, man. I'm happy for you guys. That's a good hoop to jump through. Like once you pick that, you're like, okay, now I can just focus on other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all of the hoops have been jumped. We're just getting some photos taken tomorrow prior to going to the Dundalk Heritage Fair.
Hold on. Are you guys getting engagement pictures done?
Yeah, we got engaged like 4 months ago.
I know. So is this weekend the wonderful Dundalk Heritage Festival?
Yeah, man. Crack the Sky is headlining.
Oh shit, for real?
Yeah.
What was their song?
I don't remember.
I remember.
There's also a Paul McCartney cover band.
Nice. Wait a minute, a Paul McCartney cover band?
Yeah.
That's really specific. Like, wouldn't you be?
There was one year I went and Mini Kiss performed. Are you familiar?
Yes, I am. It's little people that perform in Kiss makeup and do Kiss songs. But
That's right.
But a Paul McCartney, like, are they just doing Paul solo stuff?
Probably Wings.
That's Wings. It's not Paul McCartney.
Well, whatever.
I mean, it is Paul McCartney. Let's be honest. It's just backing band. But like, I'm assuming, like, wouldn't you just do a Beatles cover band?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
I don't know. It's really weird. You're gonna have to report back to me on this. Get me a picture of the set list. Is what I'm saying.
Well, we're basically. I mean, I think the headliners are performing on Sunday. I'm just gonna be there tomorrow for the beer garden.
Okay, I got you.
Because it's a karaoke beer garden.
Oh, nice. That's the best pictures.
Oh yeah.
You got to give me a count on how many fucking Confederate flags you see.
I don't think we saw
Or how many
lot
Trump
over
flags?
the last couple of years. Maybe a couple MAGA hats, but not a whole lot. They've really downplayed, especially at the T-shirt booths. They've really downplayed the whole like, this is MAGA country thing with the vendors.
We're racist fucking shitbags. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because a year ago, last year, like a year and a couple weeks ago, we saw Paul McCartney. And then this weekend, we went and saw The Cure, and that was fucking mwah. Like, it was amazing. Like, so fucking good. So unbelievably good. And it's nice to go and see bands that are really good live.
Mm-hmm.
And I compared that to Glastonbury was last weekend. For those who aren't familiar, Glastonbury is a giant festival in Glastonbury, England. And the main headliner on Saturday night was Guns N' Roses. And they were awful. Like, the band was amazing. Axl Rose he has no voice. He's got no range. He's smoked his throat away.
Yeah.
And, you know, all the drugs and all the whatever. But, like,
the booze.
Then the next day going and see The Cure and Robert Smith, his voice is just fucking strong. Like, strong like bull. Like, it's
all
nuts.
that adrenochrome.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's all the tears of all the fucking, you know, babies he's eating, you know.
Being goth keeps you young.
Yeah. So did you see the thing I posted on Facebook last week before we went to the show where it's an old 1986 Channel 13 exclusive where Denise Koch interviews Robert Smith?
No, I missed
it's
that.
Amazing. They're like, what's this new trend? What is goth music? And, you know, it's Jerry Turner and Denise Koch. And then Denise Koch goes to fucking...
was it Denise Koch when she had that up perm?
Yes, kind of. Yeah, she's real young. But she still looks 50. And she goes to Merriweather and interviews Robert Smith, and he's got no hair. He had cut all of his hair off. And... she interviews him, and it's just really bizarre. Like,
they used to send Denise Koch out on assignment, and it was the segment was called "Denise Does It."
Oh, really? Yeah, we're talking local TV, guys. It's just really interesting to see, one, Robert Smith with no hair, two, this really square local lady talking to Robert Smith about what goth music is or whatever the fuck she was talking to him about. It was just really funny. Okay, so yeah, besides the music, that was amazing. I did have a hot dog at Merriweather, which was really good and plain. I've been sick for 2 weeks and really haven't cooked much. I'll get to the fried rice that I made. Yesterday I made some veggie meatballs in a spicy tomato sauce, which was really great. I made it from a recipe by the chef Yotam Odalenge, who's amazing. I was looking for Father's Day. Leanna and Crosby got me a Odalenge book, which is his test kitchen book, which is fucking really, really good. We went to a friend's house and she had cooked us a bunch of stuff out of that book, and it was all amazing. And I have a couple of his books digitally, but they gave me that book like a hard copy. If you've never heard of Yotam Odalenge, look him up. He does amazing vegetarian food and meat too, but he's like he kind of does the thing that I've been trying to do for the last few months, where it's like a little bit of meat, a lot of vegetables, but he has a care and thoughtfulness to how he cooks the vegetables and how he pairs them that makes them more than just, oh God, here's like a side of Brussels sprouts. You know what I mean? Like it's really good. But the meatballs were made out of like hydrated chickpeas, not cooked chickpeas. Like if you put them in water and let them sit overnight and hydrate them, like from dry, not canned. You take chickpeas and onion and parsley and cilantro, baking powder, salt, pepper, and then blend it together in a food processor to where it's kind of like texturally still a little grainy. Put that in a bowl. Then you add panko breadcrumbs, eggs, and then before that you take zucchini and shred it on a box grater, toss it with some salt, and then just drain it, and then let that go for like 30 to 45 minutes, and then put it in a towel and squeeze all the water out of it. Add it together, blend it. Then make little balls out of it and fry it, which I didn't like that part. I would have deep fried the balls.
Because always got to deep fry the balls.
Yeah, you got to deep fry the balls. But like, it's kind of hard to take, veggie meatballs or veggie balls and, put them in oil and then flip them and shit because, then you get like almost like a football shape, like a 3-sided football. And then you just finish them off in a spicy tomato sauce, which was, tomatoes, garlic, red pepper flake, that kind of thing. It was really, 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 really good. And the meatballs themselves, it was almost like a cross between like zucchini fritters and falafel.
Okay.
So when it fried up kind of like falafel because of all the chickpeas, So it had that really crispy outside to it, but then inside it was pretty soft. It was really, really good. I really liked it. The other thing I will recommend is bunnies again. So for Father's Day a couple weeks ago, me and Leanna had gone to the soft opening, which we told you guys all about. And then it had opened the weekend of Father's Day, which was like 4 days later. And we went on Friday night, and good grief, their food is spectacular. So like, we just got a bunch of different stuff that we didn't get. This time we got the chicken liver mousse that comes with Parker House rolls. Oh my God, those Parker House rolls are so fucking good. We even got a side of the Parker House rolls later because the first round just went so quickly. The chicken liver mousse was amazing. We got their pickled veg. We got their trio, their sampler, because they have 3 kinds of deviled eggs. They have deviled eggs with lump crab that have pickled mustard seed on top. They have pimento cheese topped deviled eggs. And then they have deviled eggs with crispy chicken skin crumbs.
Nice.
Or you can get a sampler of all 3. So we got the sampler of all 3, and we're like cutting them and shit, and they were amazing. Crosby got the waffle fry poutine, which was waffle fries, crispy chicken chunks, cheddar cheese curds, and chicken gravy. And good grief, it was fucking good. Leanna I was actually surprised. Leanna went with their balls. What was it called? It's their chicken cake. So it's shredded roasted chicken and seasoned like a crab cake. And it's broiled with Old Bay, and it comes with fries and coleslaw. And it was fucking
interesting.
It was really, really, really good.
I like that idea.
Yeah, it was really smart. And it had a really good texture. And I was like, this is going to probably be a little dry. It wasn't at all. It was super good. And then because I was like, well, fuck it, I'm not paying for it, I'm going whole hog. I got the half roasted glazed duck with miso hot honey. Dude, I'm not even kidding. Like, I've had duck at a lot of places because I tend to not cook duck at home too much. This is hands down the best duck I've ever had in my life. There's a thing I do that Leanna, like, I start doing subconsciously. I don't realize I'm doing it. And Leanna's like, why are you masturbating in public? No, like, it kind of is like that though. Like I put my hands on my legs and start rubbing my legs because I'm like really
doing the pee-pee dance.
Yeah. But like, I'm sitting down and I'm just really happy because I'm like, oh my God, the food's so good. And she knows when I'm like super like blissed out by food. And she's like, you're doing the thing. And I was like, oh God, I am. And I was like, you know why? Taste this. And I gave her a piece of the duck and she was like, fuck. And then, Crosby want to try it. Like, okay, here you go. But then the thing we realized that was fucking just key, that side of Parker House rolls, so much like duck jus and rendered duck fat had come off of it. We were just wiping the plate because there was so much duck fat rendered out still on the plate. The Parker House rolls with the duck fat and the duck jus was the greatest fucking thing like ever. And Jesse came over, and at the end I was like, dude, we were fucking doing this. You need to start collecting that goddamn duck fat and like whip it up and serve it as like a thing with the Parker House rolls. Like that would be so good. She was like, oh yeah, we get so much duck fat. I'm like, yeah. She was like, holy shit, that might be a good idea. So yeah, their food is bananas. But I will tell you this story, which is going to make you laugh. So Crosby had to go to the bathroom. We didn't know where the bathroom was because we didn't go the first time we were there. The server goes, yeah, it's just right around the corner, but don't go in the left one. And we're like, okay, why? And he goes, well, he's a little young. There could be, there's like, it could be a little risque, a little weird. And we're like, oh, well, now our interest is piqued. And he's like, it just could be like a little bit of, a thing. And we're like, would it be a bad thing? He's like, I don't think so. We're like, all right, now he's got to do the one. So Crosby leaves. We're like, take the left one. He doesn't come back for 15 minutes. And we're like, he comes back and we're like, all right, what happened?
You didn't inspect the bathroom first?
No. We wanted to let him do the thing, right? So he comes back and we're like, what happened? He's like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe what's in that bathroom. And he's like seriously talking like he's like, I don't. But his eyes are kind of like wild. And I was like, hold on, I'll be right back. And I run to the bathroom and I open it up. The walls are absolutely covered with Playboy magazines from the 1970s. Every inch is a page from there's stories, but then there's pictures. I mean, wall, ceiling, everywhere.
I was just trying to remember which bar in the area that, whether it's still around or not, I can't remember, but the bathrooms would typically just be plastered with like nude magazine spreads.
But it's nothing. It's nothing like, it's not like Beaver Hunt, right? Like it's not. Not Wee magazine. It's old, like clearly late 1970s, early 80s. There's a lot of pictures of Burt Reynolds around. The
world's sexiest man.
Yeah. So like I'm looking around, I'm like, oh shit. So I go back and I'm talking to Crosby. I'm like, so what took you so long? He's like, oh, I had to do number 2. I'm like,
yeah.
And I give him a look and he's like, no, I didn't. I was looking at the pictures and I was like, that's perfectly fine, dude. And then like, we had a good laugh. And then later he's like, I do have to do number 2. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. He didn't come back for 20 minutes. While we were just
gross
drinking. But again, he was not really doing that at all. He was just looking at pictures of boobs and it's fine. I was joking that he was going to come back and be like, yeah, thanks. Like
I'm a man now.
It's like, hey dad, can I get some more lemonade? Like, sure. But yeah, Bunnies, I highly recommend it. It's so good. And on top of the fact that all the stuff that I talked about before, the fried chicken, the whole fried fish, like their food's really, really good. And if you're in Baltimore and you get a chance to support a local restaurant that is doing really cool and different things, go there. They're amazing. Okay, fine. And then, I actually didn't eat all of the duck and took it home, and then we made duck fried rice out of it. It was fucking awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah. Next week, well, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be talking about the 18 zillion restaurants that I'm going to be going to because Crosby goes to camp on Sunday and we're going to be child free, baby, for 2 weeks almost. So he's going to camp from Sunday to Friday and then Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday, he's going to have so he's got like a camp that he's going to, Camp Putak. And then he's doing a camp through the National Aquarium, Baltimore National Aquarium, which he's like super excited about. Like, it's like a environmental camp. So yeah, we're going to be eating out all the time, going to restaurants like adults. So not that we don't go to restaurants with Crosby, but like, just kind of, it's going to be date night a lot. It's going to be nice. Okay. Let's get into food news. Pepsi has created a cola infused ketchup. Are you excited for this?
It sounds to me like that's barbecue sauce.
It's called, do you want to take a stab? Do you know what it's called, by the way? Have you seen the story?
I have not. Let's see.
What would you think the name is called?
Ketchupsy.
Close. Not at all close.
I don't know.
It's the laziest name you could think of. It's called Cola Chup.
No.
Yeah, it's
that's
real
even worse than Ketchupsy.
Why wouldn't you call it Pepchup?
Pepchup?
Yeah, Pepchup.
It sounds like an Ewok name.
But it sounds kind of like ketchup. Why wouldn't it be Pepchup?
Pepchup.
Pepchup. Pepchup.
Or maybe a Pokemon name.
Pepchup. Yeah. So this summer, well, July 4th, Pepsi is making sure that you take note that cola is a hot dogs match made in heaven. The beverage brand,
Pepsi.
The beverage brand, in partnership with Culinary Institute of America Consulting. Oh God, is that a thing now? Oh, come on, Culinary Institute of America. Has created a new condiment called Cola Chup. It's so bad. The name is so bad. I'm just going to call it Pepchup from now on, which is, as you guessed it, ketchup infused with Pepsi. Quote, "We invented Pepsi Cola Chup to reinforce how well hot dogs and Pepsi go together. And unapologetically fuck them. The concept is bold and creative." No.
Bold and creative, John.
Yeah, I'm sure. If that sounds good to you, you're not going to get it at a store. The Cola Chup will only be available in limited locations for a limited time. Pepsi is offering them to baseball fans or fans of the following baseball teams: Detroit Tigers, Minnesota Twins, Arizona Diamondbacks, New York Yankees. So
this is some bullshit.
Yeah, and then you can go on their website and they'll show you what sections they will be offering it at. Because they're gonna
it comes out of one of those annoying Heinz freestyle.
Oh God,
machines.
you better believe it. What, for some reason, I feel like this ketchup is blue. I don't think it is.
Why would it be blue?
I don't know. In my brain, it seems to be blue just because when I think of Pepsi,
no, it's clear. It's made with Crystal Pepsi.
It is. It looks like barbecue sauce. Like it's darker than regular ketchup.
I'm sure it tastes like barbecue sauce because like a lot of those cola-like flavors go into barbecue sauce. And brown sugar.
If you're not attending those games on Independence Day, there's an opportunity to at least enjoy a discounted Pepsi and a hot dog combo. As the beverage brand, as they will pay for your drink. According to the brand, all weekend long through July 4th, consumers who purchase a hot dog or dogs with a Pepsi at any food service retail location can get the Pepsi comped by texting all caps "free Pepsi" to 81234 and uploading the receipt that clearly shows a hot dog and a Pepsi purchased to get reimbursed the cost of the 20-ounce Pepsi product via PayPal, Venmo, or digital retail. Well, that's okay. I mean, they're going to get you back Venmo or whatever. You know, that's cool. In the past, they've put their signature flavor in other things. They teamed with the CIA Consulting last year to offer Pepsi-Roni, which is a cola-infused pepperoni.
I remember that.
Yeah, we talked about that at a Manhattan pizza shop. So, yeah, good luck and good night, everybody. That sounds like shit. I mean, I'm sure that tastes fine. It, like you said, it's going to taste like barbecue sauce.
Yeah, barbecue sauce on a hot dog.
It's going to be really sweet ketchup, which is saying something. Because Pepsi's sweet as shit.
Well, who are they teaming up with, or are they just making this ketchup from whole cloth?
No, they're teaming up with the Culinary Institute of America.
Well, I mean,
the Culinary Institute of America Consulting are the people that make the actual cola chup. So that's who they're teaming with, because the CIA, you know, is an internet, like they have cachet because they put out the best American or the best chefs in the world. Like most of the best chefs in the world train at the CIA, which if you've never been there, I highly recommend going there. I took a bread baking class there years ago.
I tried to get in, but it's out in the middle of the woods in Langley, and they wouldn't let me in.
Langley?
Yeah, the CIA.
I know. But yeah, I mean, it's literally in the middle of the woods in northern New York.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's really great. But I, if you can take a class there, go for it. It's a really nice campus. Okay, so next story. Lab-grown chicken can now be sold in the U.S. and big-name chefs are putting it on the menu. Okay, here we go, everybody. The future is now, and I am fucking terrified. So, let me see. Last week, Upside was given label approval. Let's start from the beginning. Quote, the most common response we get is, oh, it tastes like chicken. Amy Chen, the chief operating officer of cultivated meat company Upside, told the Associated Press earlier this month. And that's a good thing because Chen was referring to Upside's cultivated chicken products, which have been given the last regulatory approval the company needed before it could start commercial production of its lab-grown chicken. Last week, Upside was given label approval from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and the one remaining step of the regulatory process for the USDA to issue a grant of inspection, a GOI. Unlike a JOI, don't look up a JOI, everybody, for its California Engineering, Production, and Innovation Center. The department gave Upside its GOI, remember, not a JOI, this week. So it now has an official government okay to sell its cultivated chicken in the U.S. They talk about how happy they are and blah, blah, blah. It's a giant step forward towards a more sustainable future, one that preserves choice in life. We're excited to launch with our signature whole textured Upside chicken and can't wait for consumers to taste the future. Dominique Crenn, the topic of a former chef-isode, the 3 Michelin-star chef placed the first order of Upside's cultivated chicken, and she plans to eventually serve it at her Bar Crenn restaurant in San Francisco. Upside also told Reuters that it plans to expand to a new production facility so that it is 10 to 20 times larger than its existing location, to presumably meet future demands, because it's probably going to be going insane. We're grateful for the FDA, blah, 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 blah. Upside wasn't the only lab-grown meat company to receive governmental approval this week. Good Meat also got a thumbs up from the FDA, so will also be allowed to commercially produce and sell its lab-grown chicken. Same thing. The company has already had the go-ahead to sell its products in Singapore, which, as of the writing of that article, is the only other country that allows cultivated meat sold to consumers. I guarantee you the EU is not going to be fucking letting this happen any fucking time soon. I'm actually really surprised at this. Yeah. Like Upside, Good Meat already has big name first customer, and as of yet unnamed Washington restaurant operated by Jose Andres will be the first one to serve Good Meat. How do you feel about this?
I'd like to try it, but if it's $1 more than real chicken, I'm not gonna buy it.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I have. My biggest problem with all this other lab meat is it's still like $18 a pound.
I mean, it's going to be expensive from the jump, right? Like, because there's just not as much production.
I just don't want to be an early adopter then. I just don't. I don't care that much.
I don't want to be an early adopter because I don't know what the fuck's in it. Like seriously, like
I actually enjoy an Impossible Whopper.
I do too.
You know, those damn things are like $9.50 for a veggie burger
at McDonald's.
No, at Burger King.
Oh, well, yeah, Whopper. Sorry.
The McDonald's, they have the McPlant.
The what?
The McPlant.
Oh, that sounds terrible. It sounds like a fucking. It sounds like a move on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Like what?
The McPlant 420.
Yeah, for real. It's like a McTwist with a fucking like a you grab the edge of the rim.
Oh, I wonder if we'll be able to get some like after Saturday because it's weed day. If we can get some like weed infused hamburgers.
I wish. You know what I was lamenting yesterday for no other reason? Like it just popped into my head because I was like, oh shit, next week weed's going to be legal in Maryland.
Weed day.
I really wish the city paper was around. Could you imagine how fun that paper would be the fucking week before it went buck wild?
Maynard Woods would be walking around, his eyes bleeding.
God, dude, Maynard wouldn't even know what to do with himself. He'd just be like, "Holy shit!" Like it would have been so great. Like I'd have been covering fucking somebody who just makes food out of weed. Yeah. So I actually got a thing. So I get emails from the Vegetarian Society in England. And there was this long thing where the guy who runs the Vegetarian Society, their chief executive, Richard McLwain, McLwain, McLwain. Okay. Basically talking about like now the two companies in the U.S. have received formal approval to sell lab-grown chicken. What impact might this have, and should vegetarians and vegans support this novel food? And then he goes on to talk about it, and it's kind of interesting, just as a sort of crisis of identity, because you're not killing an animal, right? Like what? Do you think this is okay? What will we?
Reactors have souls, John.
Right. What will we do? Like, it's an interesting quandary. Like, they talk about health, and they're like, well, the jury's out on it. It's just an interesting like whole thing. Like, it's not an animal. It's not a live being. Like, it's a really interesting thing to talk about. I'm not going to really get into his thing because, he just kind of poses questions, and like, this is what we as vegetarians should talk about now that this is a thing. We've gone beyond meat, right? Like, Beyond Meat and its ilk are vegetarian based. It just has a thing that mimics blood. This is actual meat for all intents and purposes, I suppose. Like, I gotta read more about this. I thought this wasn't a thing that was going to get passed this early, to be honest.
Because I couldn't tell you. I mean, like, I don't know what kind of fast tracking these companies are getting.
That's what
I want to see, like, the big pouch that they rip open to like dump into the bioreactor, like fake nugget starter.
Yeah, like
to get all the protein swirling around and all that crap.
Yeah, it's really strange. Like, and I have very big trepidations about it because
in 10 years when we do another MRE episode, it'll be like
you mean in
fake
10 fucking days? What are you talking about? We're not doing episodes on food history anymore. It's going to be food news MRE, food news MRE. Right. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, remember, like, I guess it was a year or two ago when the fake chicken nuggets were in KFC in Germany already. And I don't know. I just don't see. I think one of the concerns is probably like maybe the harmful side effects, or the fact that it's like any nutrition that these things have are chemically induced, you know? They're going to have to, it's not like a chicken running around eating clovers and shit like that. And then they work the magic of nature and you're eating their flesh.
Yeah. The weird thing is like, so this guy goes on to say like the cells require nutrients in order to grow, just as they do with animals. Yeah. The cells are bathed in a growth medium comprised of a wide variety of nutrients and
fetal bovine serum
and amino acids. This medium could be adjusted to provide particular nutritional profiles for health. Up until recently, the growth medium of choice was fetal bovine serum, drawn from the fetus. Yeah, drawn from the fetus of pregnant cows at abattoirs, which, for those who don't know, that's where they slaughter animals. Clearly not something any vegetarian or vegan would support. However, serum-free growth media are now available. In fact, Upside Foods developed their own, and so have many other companies globally. So, they're trying to get that. I don't know. It's so strange. Like, this is like fucking Soylent Green kind of shit, right? Like... It really, besides Soylent Green was just ground up people, but like, what they said Soylent Green was.
I think what's funny is I used to do a lot of science work, and we would do cell culture. And the idea that like you would have the Henrietta Lacks of chicken title of the episode, and just take this one like chicken cell or something like that, or even an artificial chicken cell.
Henrietta Lacks was the lady who they took her cells to. Like
they took her cancer cells
she had
propagate uterine cancer, right, or vagina cancer, and they took like her tumor cells,
right,
and they cultured them,
right,
and as it turns out that cancer cells in culture, you can just culture them in perpetuity forever and ever. So you can take the cells, you can freeze them, put them in liquid nitrogen. They last forever. And you could do the same thing with like a chicken. You could just take like a bit of its leg, kind of like break the cells up and kind of culture them in FPS, and then amplify them in a bioreactor and have a whole bunch of chicken just sitting in there.
But what does it look like?
I don't know. That I would love to know.
Like it won't look like a fat of chicken. It won't look like a muscle, right?
No, it's just kind of undifferentiated like meat. It's weird.
Can you grow? I mean, I'm asking you like you're a fucking expert here. Could you potentially grow white meat or dark meat?
Probably. I think dark meat would probably be tougher because
it's got fat.
The fat, yeah.
Right?
Like white meat, I mean,
all fucking day, like, right? Yeah.
What do they call them? The different kind of muscle fibers,
Right.
Those are easy to do. I think dark meat's trickier because of the
intermuscular fat
and the fat.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're in the future. It's weird.
Well, I mean, they're trying to like produce lab grown steaks that have marbling, and I'm like, yeah, that is so complicated.
They're 3D printing steaks that have marbling in them.
Yeah.
It's
stupid.
So weird.
It's a waste of money.
All right. The next story is just as intellectual, so keep your thinking caps on, everybody.
Okay.
Hackers take over In a Garden's Facebook account and post Olive Garden recipes. Woo!
Take that.
Yeah. Fuck you. Whatever. What's her husband's name? That fucking guy? Oh,
I don't know.
It's not Jeremy, right? Like, what's his name?
Look it up.
Come on. Think about it.
Look it up, Johnny.
Yeah. his name. No, I want to remember it now. Like I'm gonna bog down this fucking podcast remembering this dickheads. It's Jeffrey. So she got hacked. So the Daily Mail reported whoever took the page over changed her profile picture to a stock image of pie slices and shared several food and drink recipes, including another Facebook page's recipes for Olive Garden pasta. Some of Garten's 2 million plus followers quickly realized something was up. Quote, "How can you know Ina Garten's Facebook account has been hacked? Instead of her being Hamptons dwelling, Cosmo sipping good olive oil, using self, she suddenly becomes your Jell-O salad making great aunt from Iowa who's always posting Olive Garden copycat recipes," one Twitter user joked. Great.
With the 7-paragraph preamble, "My kids love Olive Garden."
Right. Quote, "Once I saw that profile pic changed to pie, I'm like, damn, they got her." Chef and cookbook author Noel Cunningham commented on Garden's recovered Facebook page. Come on, guys. Like, who gives a shit? Why is it always Facebook that people are ganking? Like, Facebook has a fucking problem. Like, they're getting all my friends. Like, whoever runs her Facebook profile played one of those dumb games that instantly hacks your fucking Facebook profile or has been trying to look at titties. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, "Oh, hey, I like that you want to talk to me in my DMs. Okay, let me click on this link. Oh, no." Like, come on. So she got the page back and all the unapproved and very unbarefoot Contessa recipes were deleted. And the page's profile photo is now a professional pic of the beaming Ina Garten standing behind a vase of roses and a beautifully roasted chicken. Quote, "Thank you to everyone who alerted me that my Facebook page was hacked, and to Meta for helping us get our page back," Garten wrote.
Meta.
Quote, "I will continue to post my favorite recipes here and read all of your wonderful comments." No, she won't. "And cater to Jeffrey." I put that part in because she always caters to Jeffrey. So yeah, they're probably coming at Guy Fieri all the time, but you know what? Guy Fieri ain't taking that shit.
Oh, he's got 3-factor authentication. Nobody's getting into his shit.
Hell no. You know Guy Fieri's got like 18 people taking care of that shit.
He also has an army of people dressed like him that will go to war.
Fun fact, now that HBO Max is now just Max. I have changed my profile pic to Guy Fieri.
You and Brian Levy share the same affinities.
I love Guy Fieri. Listen to our Guy Fieri episode. He's awesome.
He's a super nice guy.
Dude, I mean, he really is. But man, he's got so many shows. Like, I didn't realize how many fucking shows he had until, like, you go to the Food Network section of Max. Jesus Christ. I thought it was just Triple D, Triple G, and then, like, whatever the new one is, where, you know, he's in a food race around the country or whatever in an RV. But then
I miss Adam Richman.
What's that?
I said I miss Adam Richman and Man vs. Food.
I don't miss Adam Richman at all. He was terrible.
Oh, okay. All right.
But like, I knew he is the host of, like, you know, Be the Best Food Network Chef or whatever, right? Like, where it's like kind of like Iron Chef America, like it's like just like a Tournament of Champions kind of thing. But then there's like 6 or 7 other things where I'm like, okay, this guy has too many ideas. Like, he's just throwing shit at the wall, and they'll do like 6 episodes, and if it doesn't take off, they're like, all right, fine, we got more. Like, also, he's really pushing his son, and I'm like, he's not that good. Like, come on. All right. Here's a story I thought was really interesting just because it's so strange. Brits are getting less booze in their beer due to quote unquote drinkflation. Last fall, the word keepers at Merriam-Webster added 370 new words and phrases to its dictionary, including pumpkin spice, plant-based, and shrinkflation. Whether you've used those last three syllables or not, you've undoubtedly experienced shrinkflation in real life. When a bag of Doritos, a bottle of Gatorade, or Kit Kat bar costs the same amount of money, despite being noticeably smaller. Beer lovers in England are getting uncomfortably familiar with a familiar concept that the Daily Mail has called drinkflation, as several beer companies have decreased the alcohol content of their brews while keeping the prices the same.
This is criminal.
The lower alcohol by volume, ABV, percentages are reportedly due to an alcohol duty that taxes breweries and other booze makers based on the strength of their drinks. For example, a beer with a 5% ABV is taxed at a higher rate than one with a ABV under 4%. And although the difference is just a couple of pence per bottle or can, some experts estimate that it can add up to millions of pounds in tax savings. Some of the examples of decreasing ABV that the Mail discovered were from Foster's. It's Australian for beer, that thing, which cut the ABV from its lager from 4% to 3.7%. From Shepherd Neame, which lowered the ABV of its Bishop's Finger Kentish Strong Ale. Jesus Christ. Bishop's Finger Kentish. Damn it, I can't say Kentish. Bishop's Finger Kentish Strong Ale from 5.4 to 5.2. And its Spitfire Amber Ale from 4.5 to 4.2. And Green King, whose Old Speckled Hen Pale Ale dropped from 5% to 4.8. So it looks like everything's going like a 0.3 down. And I wonder what that's about.
I don't know how this is legal.
Yeah,
without changing the price.
Well, I mean, they can just change the recipe. It's fine. A spokesperson for Green King told the Telegraph that saving 2 pence per bottle was a way to counteract the quote unquote significantly increased costs unquote it is currently facing. Quote, it lowers the I'm not going to do it. It lowers the duty we pay without noticeably affecting the beer's flavor and helps offset some of the rising costs of brewing our beers. Meanwhile, Shepherd's Neame suggested that it wasn't about the tax savings, but about more health conscious consumers.
Oh, please.
Quote, consumers are increasingly choosing drinks with a lower alcohol content as part of a healthy lifestyle. A spokesman for the Daily Mail told them. A spokesman told the Daily Mail. Quote, we hope this will encourage more people to try our award-winning flagship beers. And yeah, it goes on. So it just kind of sucks. Like, they're taxing on ABV. Like, if they did that shit,
it's dumb the way they do that.
If they did that over here, they would, like, Christ, all the, crazy IPAs that are like 9%, and that's nuts. That sucks. Emma McClarkin, the chief executive of the British Beer and Pub Association, said that her organization would do what it could to ensure that beer never became unaffordable. Quote, unfortunately, whilst inflation is slowing, business and consumers are still very much feeling the pinch because they're all greedy. She told ITV News, quote, our industry will continue to work hard to mitigate the impact of cost to consumers, but we really need the government to step up and act on inflation before beer becomes a luxury rather than an accessibly wide enjoyed drink that it always has been. I mean, you're going to have a lot of people fucking start brewing at home. Stupid. I'm going to kind of, let's see. Yeah, that's it. I think we're done. I'm not gonna. I had an article about Miller Lite. They want people to fucking put ice in their beer, but they want like, okay, speaking about beer ABV, right? They have this thing that you can pour Miller Lite into and make beer ice cubes because their beer's so shitty that it freezes like water. So yeah, fuck them. We get it. It gets hot outside. So
Sometimes I do like a good beer on ice.
No, I don't disagree, and I think that you should maybe make a beer ice cube, but I feel like I shill for Miller a lot because they're always doing fucking dumb shit that I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, but then like
You
when I
mean
read
this Miller Lite,
oh hey, check you out, or look at you actually drinking like a man, Miller Lite, yeah. So that's it. We're almost at an hour, so fuck it. Where I'm at, I'm getting out on time. None of this 2 hour shit like in the past days of old. Thank you for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. We really appreciate it. Please tell your friends and family. We don't pay money to advertise, and word of mouth is really, really important. I did say something on our Facebook group that I would like people to rate and review us if you can, if you have the time.
Won't do it.
No, they won't do it at all, but it's worth an ask. I mean, at least rate it. You don't have to review it. I don't review shit, but the rate actually does help, especially on iTunes. For some reason, iTunes has, what is that? Like, iTunes is dead, and for some reason, if you get ratings on iTunes, it still really shifts the number of fucking like downloads you get. It's nuts. Like it really makes a fucking huge difference. Because I had a couple people rate us yesterday and it spiked like shit yesterday. What did you say?
I said, have you heard that Stitcher is going away?
Oh yeah. I stopped posting to Stitcher a while ago. That place sucked.
I mean, I do. Mine kind of does it automatically, but
mine does it automatically too. But like, I actively stopped it a while ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just have bad business practice. I mean, not that Spotify and everybody else doesn't, but like,
right.
But yeah, rate and review us or just rate us. Like, seriously, it makes a big difference. But more importantly, tell your friends that you think are into listening to food-based podcasts. Speaking of podcasts that are not food-based, Evan, tell them about your podcast. That was a terrible segue.
Oh, thanks for stepping on me.
Sorry.
CTB.show to find the link to our Discord, but also any of our episodes that you can find buttons to press to subscribe to our show, or just find us on iTunes. I don't even think we have half the number of reviews that John does, but I don't care anymore. This week's episode. This week's episode, we talk about a child's lack of reaction to the film Ghostbusters, a lot of James Cameron talk, and some stuff about Baltimore.
That sub went boom, huh? Well, not boom. It went.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went the
I've been
opposite of
listening
boom.
to some long form podcasts about the guy, and he seemed like a real dum-dum.
Yeah. Like I watched an interview with him and I was like, there's no fucking way I would talk to this guy and get in anything this guy made.
Right.
No fucking way. Yeah. I had a coworker that just kept going, it exploded and the explosion was really bad. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And she kept like, it exploded so bad. It like probably killed him like really bad. I'm like, no, they just instantly
real
died.
bad, really bad.
And they just instantly died. They were alive and then they weren't, and then they were literally liquid or fried pieces of wet fried stuff.
Meat.
Like, yeah, they turned into
grown chicken.
They turned into plasma like within milliseconds. Like they were alive and then they were dead and then that was it. Like that sounds like, honestly, a great way to die. Like
best outcome for them.
I mean,
actually.
seriously, like they didn't die of asphyxiation. Yeah. Ugh, what a way to go. Oof. You get burned up within milliseconds with the heat of the sun. Okay, I'll take that. yeah, with that happy thought, we'll be back next week with a food episode. Maybe, you know what? I was talking about a chef episode. I think I'm going to do a chef episode next week. We'll talk about a famous chef. I think that'd be fun. We do them every couple months. It's been a while since we've done a chef episode. Now I just got to come up with a been a while for a chef episode. So next week we will see you with a chef episode of someone that we'll find out next week. Thank you for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. I'm John Hauser III. Don't yuck my yum.
And don't go to Canada right now.
No. I mean, the Canadian bacon itself is just smoking. It's terrible. I mean, seriously, like, those wildfires are nuts.
Wildfires.
Yeah. Poof. Stay away from Canada, everybody. We love you, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Bye.